Everyone, and welcome back to another Ember Cup video. Now, today in round 5, we have, I think I'm butchering the name. It's either Nicholas Dimes or Nichols Dimes. I'm very sorry, I've very butchered the name. I don't know what one it's meant to be. Anyway, so unfortunately, I forgot to record round 1. So here's a nice, brief summary of how that went down. Started off with Polygraph, opponent then started with Vileplume, got a couple of quick attacks off, switched out the Polygraph for the Houndoom, which my opponent quickly changed from Vileplume to Electrode. A couple of quick attacks later, and we get off a Flamethrower. The opponent blocks. The opponent then uses Foul Play, which I block. A couple of quick moves later, use Crunch, opponent blocks again. And then again, a few quick attacks later, we finally get off the final Crunch, killing the Electrode. Now, they then send out Charizard, and I think my Houndoom was on very little health at that time, takes out the game, to which we swap back out to Poliwrath. The Charizard then gets a Dragon Claw off, we tank, we then use Scald, taking out the Charizard, happy days. Opponent switches back to Vileplume, taking out the Poliwrath just because it was on very little health. We then put out the Piloswine. Opponent uses Moonblast. We get the block off because we still had the shield. Big happy days. And with a few quick attacks later, we get off a final Avalanche, killing the opponent's Vileplume, leaving round 1 in a victory. Big success. Woo! So now going into round 2. I don't really feel like there was much needed of change of team because, well, Poliwrath counters 3, I believe, of the Mons. Houndoom countered also 3. And Piloswine, I think, countered 3 as well. So, all in all, the team was pretty good. Didn't have to change much. Pretty good. It was nice to use the Houndoom for once. So start off with the Houndoom. They start off with Electrode this time, so it was a nice wee switcheroo, which I was enjoying. But then at the same time, didn't really matter because they switched as well. I switched with the Vileplume. Anyway, switch the Charizard, we switch the Poliwrath. They get I believe it's a Dragon Claw off. Just tank it because don't really need to shield a Dragon Claw. Get the Scald off. Happy days. I believe they do shield here because I believe the double shield for the Charizard, which is an interesting move, which is kind of worrying at the same time. So I do use a shield here because I was like, oh well, I'm not gonna be able to tank another Dragon Claw, so may as well get it. I thought Poliwrath was the only one that could really take out the Charizard, but then I was like, this one can also do it. But anyway, get the Scald off again. As I said, they shield again. I'm just like, well, happy days. I've got shield advantage in round 2 again, which is always a good position to be in. To get the Dragon Claw off, I just let Poliwrath die because there's no point. And shielding, switch to the Piloswine because he is the only one that can kind of deal with the flying type of the Charizard off the ground. A tank here because I was like, well, we've definitely not got the Flame Blast. Hit it with Dragon Claw, get the Avalanche off, and taking out the Charizard, which was all very nice and good. The opponent then switches to a Vileplume, so same matchup, only different ordering of this round. We obviously whip out the Houndoom, start spamming, get the Flamethrower off. Luckily for me, my opponent doesn't have any shields left, so this should one-hit the Vileplume, which it does. Happy days, happy days. So we always left as the Electrode. We've got a shield, just the Electrode left. Hit them with a Crunch, just because I thought, well, with Flamethrower's not really going to do much damage to the Electrode anyway. The Crunch gets off, obviously. There's a fair chunk of change, and they obviously get a higgy, but it's fine. We've got the shield, we've got the shield, baby, and they use a full play. We spam, 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 spam. And at this point, I was really screaming because it was a very, very close round two. But we do get the crunch off, and boom! Giving us 2 victories. That's a 2-0 in the first 2 rounds. First victory, first set victory, I believe, of the tournament for me. Loving life on top. Just sweet victory. Is this what victory feels like? I'm boasting, but it's the first one of the set, the first one of the cup. Sorry, set wise. You know, I was a wee bit, what's the word? Follow myself, giddy. I have no idea. Happy. I was happy. Happy with the performance. Happy with the result. And then going into round three, I believe I used the same team as round two. Just because, as I said, like I didn't really have to change anything because the 3 mons quite literally countered everything. So started off with the same matchup as round one, Vileplume versus Poliwrath. Get a bit of Charles moves off, switch to the Houndoom, which my opponent doesn't instantly switch it to the Electrode this time, which I was thought was a bit. No, well, I mean, I understand it, you know, because the Houndoom doesn't exactly. It's got a dark type quick attack, so it doesn't really do much. So obviously getting some energy there. The Electrode gets off a Nightshade with shield. Probably shouldn't have shielded because I knew it was going to be Nightshade. Foul play. I keep saying Nightshade. Foul play. Yeah, but we get the crunch off. I believe they do shield here. Yeah. You know, so it was a bit. No, it was a bit. Well, I need to work on shield management. I believe that was because I mean that was got me the victory here. You know, just having that one shield ahead of the opponent at all times was pretty good feat to have, a very good trait to have. So we switch into the Poliwrath here, get off the Scald, and you know, this should just wipe out the Charizard. Happy days. And then they switch back to the Vileplume. So it was an exact mirror match of round one, I believe. I think this is the exact mirror match of round one. Only, you know, a wee bit heavily. Can I speak? A wee bit better for me this time anyway, as we don't have to even use the shield. So yeah, that was a great, great victory, 3-0 victory to me. First set win of the cup, which is very good. A big thanks to my opponent. It was a very, very, very fun matchup, especially round two. Round two was really, really close. And same again, if anybody has any tips, tricks, anything like that at all that you can give me, that would also be happily welcome in the comment section, as I'm always looking to improve. So that was it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next round. See you.